go. What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Joey 365 with another episode of Real African Stars, and I'm with the beautiful Kristen.
Hey, everyone. How are you?
Yeah, how you doing, Kristen? How was your weekend?
My weekend was good, back at it. Post Beryl.
Oh, okay.
All is well.
Yeah. Before we get started, make sure you like, share, subscribe to the channel. Please leave a comment. Let us know what you think. And always leave a comment. We would love to know what y'all think about the video. And yeah.
Let's do that.
So, like you were saying, you said how was your weekend? How was your Hurricane Beryl? How did that go?
The beautiful thing about living in a affluent neighborhood is that you lose power quickly, but it comes back on. So.
We were one of the lucky ones, right?
Yeah, we were. There were so many people without power and water. So I appreciated that. Power came back on. Water was a little slow coming back.
Was this your first hurricane?
I think this was my second hurricane, actually. Yeah, since being here in Texas. Second hurricane.
What was the first one?
The first one, I think it was when I first moved here in 2022, January 2022. There was a hurricane, and so that was really scary. Because where I come from, we don't get hurricanes.
Man, this is like my first experience being like, I don't even know how to explain it. It was just weird. Lights went out, no electricity.
None.
You couldn't really cook.
Nope.
It was difficult trying to survive. I never thought I'd be in that position. I really found out how vital your phone is.
Yeah. Single man trying to make it.
Man, I learned everybody was looking for a charger. Everybody was looking for somewhere to charge their phone, looking for where to put their laptops, charge their laptops. I've never seen anything like that. So
you didn't prepare like the night before?
I didn't think it was going to be bad. I didn't think it was going to affect me because last time something like this happened, we had light. We didn't experience any loss of electricity.
Right, true.
I didn't expect it to really happen to me. I understood
Yeah.
that a hurricane was coming, but I didn't know it was going to be like that. But that was definitely an experience.
Yeah. I had charged up my stuff. I had an extra battery. I had food already prepared, stuff you didn't need to heat up. So water. I was prepared.
Man, I was not. I thought I was. I think in times like
Wayne. You was hungry.
No, I had food, but the thing is, you have to actually cook it.
I know, bro.
I didn't realize I didn't get any food that you didn't have to prepare. So I was like stuck eating snacks.
Yeah, canned goods. You got it.
Silly stuff, man. But next time, I think.
Your best friend.
Yeah. The next time, I think I'll be better prepared. But let's watch a video of how that played out for some people.
Yeah.
Luckily, this wasn't us. People stranded in water. People just. I don't think a lot of people were prepared or even realized the situation was going to be as bad as it is. So even right now, people are still going through it.
People are still recovering.
A lot of people still don't have electricity.
Yeah.
Luckily, we do.
Yeah. And I also think that Texas doesn't do a phenomenal job at preparing you ahead of time. I think
you got to think about it. It was all over the news.
I'm just thinking about when we had the tornado and like how last minute that like alert came through. So it was just like, I feel like when I lived up north, we were it was literally everywhere. They were sending alerts to your phone. Everyone was talking about it. It was on social media. I have people reaching out to me like today saying, "Oh, I heard a hurricane is coming." Like they just don't know. A lot of people don't really know about it. They think it's coming. It already came.
You used to watch the news and you see people
folks don't watch the
through
news
it in other states.
Yeah.
You be like, "Dang, that's bad," and you change the channel.
Yeah.
In this we have to actually live it, and that was a first for me, definitely. It taught me a lot of lessons. I need to be better prepared for a doomsday situation.
Were you scared?
Was I scared? I don't think I was scared.
Were
I
you
was
under your
scared that the
covers?
elevator wasn't gonna work. I know that.
Oh yeah, no, my elevator wasn't working.
I
My
was.
building was completely black. Like
No,
that was so
we
scary.
had one elevator working, and
That's good.
the entire building had to wait on one elevator.
You know.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
See, I gotta move. I gotta have a little paper like him. You living good. Lights out and elevator still working.
Man,
Listen.
there's a generator. We had a generator in the building, so
We had
luckily
nothing.
we had somewhat type of light. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
That's good.
we were lucky on that aspect. But we're gonna take a look at how some people fared in the hurricane. This was a video. This is a video of what people were going through.
ITBOY $BBNO. That's me, that's me, that's right, that's me, that's right. I am HRM, the Gen Z Eminem. That's me, that's me, that's right, that's me.
Is that? Yeah. Bad bitches, we like fast boys. We like niggas that say.
Down because YouTube gonna ding me for that.
Oh
Let's
my
see it.
God.
Look at that.
Yeah.
That's crazy. If you've seen some videos with some people's houses were just smashed in by trees.
There was a lot of trees down.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
there.
crazy.
You
It was
you
crazy.
go down right down here. There's a huge. I mean, it's blocking off the street. You can't drive. There were so many trees down.
I seen so many cars get. Look at the truck stuck in the
Under.
water. That's crazy. No,
It went under. The front went under. Where is it? Oh, God. Okay.
It's jackknife.
There it is.
That's crazy. Imagine being in that situation right there.
I hope the driver jumped out, because that's insane.
That's crazy.
And why did you still keep going? Maybe he was floating, moving. The water was moving. Yeah, like why didn't you drive like that truck? Why did you?
Maybe he probably.
Why did you
know.
drive on that
he was
side?
probably going the opposite direction, and that happened. But I don't know. I can't call it.
This guy fell asleep at the wheel.
No, that's crazy.
Yeah. You know,
And the thing is, people just thought it was gonna be just another day,
Yeah.
just another rain.
they were like in Montrose, I mean, my God, there's videos like that's not too far from here. I mean, flooded almost up to 10 feet. But that area is made to kind of flood to keep the roads from flooding. But I mean, it was so much flood water.
Yeah, I've never seen anything that bad.
It's
before.
bad. It was bad.
This is my first experience, and I
Yeah,
don't
you
want to
gotta
go through
have
that
it.
again.
Yeah, you
And that
gotta
was just
have
a
that.
category 1.
Yeah. You
Everybody
gotta
thought-
have your panic pack. What do they call it? Your
Not
No,
panic
you do.
pack.
You need batteries. You need all of that stuff where you can just pick up and go. All of your important papers, like your preparedness, your
Yeah.
disaster preparedness backpack. That is really important.
I think it's called. What is it called?
Disaster preparedness.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You can buy one off of Amazon. They have them
What's in it?
already made.
What's in it?
It's like batteries. It's batteries. It's like water. It's dry ice. It is lights. You know, something that you can plug in your electronics. It's all of those things. Yeah. First aid kit.
Definitely.
You know, a
need
place
that.
where you can keep your important papers. Like all of that stuff is really important.
What I was thinking of buying is what is this solar
Yes.
charger? Solar
Yes.
charger?
Yes.
Yeah, that's I saw.
Because
I
the
feel
sun
like-
always got to come out.
I had one
you
in
know?
my what is it called? My cart on Amazon. I just haven't purchased it. I didn't think I was gonna need it. I wish I would have bought one beforehand, but I learned a lesson this time. Next
Yeah.
time, I'll definitely be prepared. But
We survived.
yeah, that's interesting. Hurricane Beryl. Hopefully, everybody out there are safe.
Yeah.
Family safe, and people are just now getting
Yeah.
electricity after 3 days.
Yeah, it's like living in Texas. You got to take this stuff seriously because it goes from 0 to 10 fast,
Facts.
super fast.
Yeah, let's move on to the next topic here. We got a guy here that says, I can't get a job because I'm white. White guy explains how it feels to be white in America today.
Let's hear it.
Let's
I don't know what that feels
let's
like.
hear the white hardship story here. Let me pull this up. Let's hear how hard is it to be a white guy in America in 2024. I'm sure he's gonna tell us.
Black lady made a post that says, white people, how does it feel to be white? Okay, well, this is how it feels to be white. Imagine being a race that you're not allowed to be proud of. If I put up that I'm proud to be white, people would comment that I'm the most racist person in the world. All right, imagine being blamed for something that you were never a part of. Okay, so also, on top of that, imagine that you can't get a job now because of the color of your skin. Like literally, they tell you that we're not hiring any white people right now. We need more people of ethnicity here. Huh. Imagine being straight and white and Christian. You're like the triple threat of hatred. Imagine being told that you have an ideology that you don't have. Like, just because you're white, you're racist. So that's what it's like to be white.
I'll let you go first.
My opinion on that. What I think is happening here is, I think the economy is getting harder, right? And all these companies are trying to, I guess, be politically correct by putting forth these DEI initiatives, hiring more ethnic people, right? But statistically, white people are still the majority, and there is still white privilege, whether you see it or not. You know, I just think he's just one of the unfortunate ones who didn't get a job or who doesn't have a job. He's probably in the wrong field. But for the most part, I don't think white people have an issue of getting a job. He's just one. I've heard this argument before on the internet, but maybe he's just the one going through it.
Yeah, you know, and I'm not saying that there aren't those cases, but I think that this is trash and it's BS. You're driving a nice car, you know. You got a sunroof there.
We don't know what it is.
Well, you got a sunroof, so apparently
nice.
It's a newer car, right? And I just think that this is funny that when he's talking about imagine being a white person and being told that we filled the quota, it's like him saying that he doesn't subscribe to things. I'm assuming that he's talking about slavery or racism, but you benefit tremendously from that. Tremendously. And first of all, jobs cannot tell you we've met the quota. We're looking for people of color. That's cap.
But if you live in a world where everything's catered to you everything has been catered to you for so long,
right?
And you're no longer getting that catered feeling.
I don't believe that he's not getting that catered feeling. I think that this is cap. This is a lie. Where in America do white people not thrive and flourish and have privilege and do what they want and their lives matter and they're the 1%? Stop. Nobody feels sorry for you.
You don't feel sorry?
Hell no, I don't feel sorry for him. You're lackadaisical. You're probably a trashy worker. You probably, you look like you're all trimmed up. So you don't look jobless to me. I can show you people who are jobless. Anyway, I'm very passionate about race relations. I don't feel sorry for any white person because you have the most privilege one can have. So there's no excuse for why you are not thriving in the US of A.
Facts. I agree with that 100%. But I think that the white man, they're in their culture. They run. No. Like if you're on the left, right? Like if you're like a Democrat, like all that, like I know they. How do I want to say this? They're in their little clique or whatever. The initiative is to go against the white man, now. That's what the left is pushing. Like, oh, the white man is evil, but they benefit from that though. They've been at the top, and they're at the top of the food chain. Let's just call it what it is. And they're not. They've never seen themselves step down from that. But now that America is getting more diverse, and you're getting more ethnicity, more black people coming into the country, more Hispanics coming into the country, and they're afraid that this is no longer their country.
There's no way it can't be. Like all of that, I just think that when you understand racism in America, there's no way we can ever believe that unless you dismantle every single system that we know exists in America. This is impossible. Every system was created for white people to be on top. Yeah. So as long as the system still stands as it is, they will always benefit. They will always be on top. They will always be the wealthiest. That will always be the situation. Yeah, so what he's saying, it's a one-off, and I don't even believe him. So it's just like, this is a lie. I don't care how many immigrants come over. We are talking about white privilege. We are talking about a country that was made for you. It can't happen.
And think about it, when you're applying for jobs, right? Why are they?
They're asking you.
Why are they always asking those questions?
What do you identify as? Are you transgendered? Are you non-binary? What's your sexual orientation? Or do you identify as man, woman, or other? Or what is your race? I don't answer any of those questions.
Really? You skip them?
I skip them. I say I prefer not to answer.
And
sometimes I answer them as white.
Have you ever gotten positive feedback from?
Listen, one of the dating coaches, as we're talking about how you identify, the algorithm. He's phenomenal. His name is Anwar White. But anyway, Anwar White, he's phenomenal. Okay. He's been a dating coach for like 13 or 14 years for black and brown women. And he talks about
is that the guy with the big beard?
He doesn't have a big beard. He's a gay man. But when you talk about the black experience, I've never seen a man who understands a woman's black experience like some of his stuff is a little racy, but he's brilliant. He's highly intelligent. He's well researched. But he even talks about black women do not choose black when you're on dating apps. The algorithm will phase you out. My girlfriend did that. She's like, I changed my race to white, and she gets way more hits just because the algorithm. Even the algorithm don't like what black people like. It's
really?
Yes. It is insane.
I get positive feedbacks. I did when I was on dating apps.
I'm just saying but we're talking about black women. Okay, nobody wants no. You can't even put black as a woman on a dating app because the algorithm doesn't show your profile to people.
Well, it does say that they're they're the least selected out of the. So it proves the point, right?
It proves the point.
They're the least selected of all the races, but it is what it is. This is America.
What happens when our men don't even want us?
Here we go again. Here we go. What do you mean our men don't even want us?
Anyway, we were talking about white privilege.
Oh my God. Let's stick to the topic.
Yep.
All right. Yeah. Just to round it up, what? So you think?
We beat that thing to death. He's capping.
Yeah, he's capping. I agree with that.
See, I can use
the word. Yeah, okay. Let's move on to the next topic here. Let's see what we got here. Let's talk about. Let's see what we got here. Let's skip that. We'll come back to that. All right. This guy says, evil world we live in. Dude is scared of marriage after women did something to him. Let's see what he has to say and why he is afraid of marriage. You think men should be afraid of marriage?
No. Not at all.
Oh yeah? Interesting. Let's move on here to the video and we'll give our feedback after the fact. All right, let's play the video and see what he has to say why men are afraid of this large commitment.
Living. She said, "Why are you so scared of marriage?" He said, "Here's why. A woman I was dating bought me a cologne, which made me extremely happy because she rarely bought me gifts. One day I looked at her phone and found a text she had sent. She said, 'I bought him the same cologne as yours so I can smell you in my house.'" You know how much pain in your chest that is, dog? What the fuck? Because imagine that, bro. You finally get this gift from somebody that you've been seeing for a while. You've been taking them out for a while, years maybe. And then you find a message saying that they only bought you this so you could be like that person that they're cheating on you with, bro. That's sick. What kind of honest reaction do you have with that, bro? Do you black out? Do you spaz? Or do you just take it on the chin and keep pushing, bro? Because nowadays I feel like it's like, yeah, blacking out is very understandable, but the amount of things that could happen to you post blackout, like losing your job, going to jail, stuff like that, bro, is just not worth it. Especially over somebody who's been cheating on you for obviously a minute, you know. They over here got you in the house smelling like.
Well, you got the gist of it, right?
Yeah.
All right, let's get a reaction out of you.
Out of me? Me first?
Yeah, you go first. Yeah,
Listen,
So
I think.
what's your take on that? She literally bought this man a perfume to smell like the guy she's cheating on him with.
I think this is very low vibrational, number one. But I'm even when you hear his commentary, you black out and you black. Who even? Bruh, grow up. Number one, grow up. Like this seems a bit. I will say that I will always say that we have to be accountable for who we entertain, right? I don't know that we can. I think light attracts a lot.
Let me
right?
ask you this. I've been in this situation where somebody I was dating, we went shopping and she was like, "Oh, I want to buy you a cologne." I'm thinking in my head exactly what he's thinking. Like, who have you been with, and why do you like this cologne?
But what does that say about you? I think
what does that say about me?
Remove the person, because we're gonna go a little deep here. This is so much about who we are, right? We have to be accountable for who we entertain. It's so much more about us and how we vet and how we choose. The fact you got to be accountable for who you entertain. You got to be accountable for who you keep around you. You do. I mean, people have all different types of, people have nefarious intentions, and there are a lot of well-intended people. And I think it's how well are you vetting? What were you attracted to about this person? How well did you get to know this person? What conversations did you and this person have? A lot of people have superficial conversations. They can't go beyond the surface. And if we're talking about black men,
I don't think a race matters.
I think no. We're talking about black men because this is a black man and you're a black man and I'm a black woman.
I agree with that.
So I think if we're talking about the state of our people and our men and our women and the lack of healing and the lack of personal work and personal responsibility that we don't take when we are in these situations, like you can point the finger all you want, and I guarantee you he'll find himself in another situation like that because it's much more about him, his vibration, what he's going through than a cologne and the fact that this woman likes this cologne. Have you been dating her for all of this time and she's still seeing somebody else? Like,
how can you help that though?
No, it's not about how can you help that, it's how don't you know that.
That's like saying, how don't you know you're getting cheated on?
I've been cheated on in the past, and I will say every time it happened, I already knew. Your gut is instinctual. Our gut is not. It is never ever wrong. I don't know one person walking this earth whose gut has been wrong.
Yeah, but
do you listen to it, or do you not?
In my situation, the person that decided to buy me a perfume or whatever, I've already, the fact that I was even thinking that, I already knew that the person wasn't serious, right? So I just played along. I'm like, oh, okay, you want to buy me perfume because she says she likes the smell.
But you said,
so
okay.
She likes the smell, but where did you smell it?
But okay, so where would most women be smelling cologne?
On other men.
On other men? It could be her
Exactly.
father, it could be her uncle, it could be someone she dated. But what if I like the smell of a cologne And it was on someone that I dated. Does that mean,
let me ask you this. Does a particular smell trigger certain memories in you?
Of course.
Okay.
Of course.
Right
And
there.
it doesn't mean that that smell is only reserved for that person. I mean, we can respectfully disagree. If you like the smell of my perfume, and you just think, if I go into a store and I like the smell of a cologne, there is a smell that I've always loved, and it was before my ex, and it's still after my ex. I think it was like, what was it? It was something by Shanjo. Shoot, P. Diddy.
Obsession.
Bruh. No, like it was like
Sean John.
it was a popular smell, but I thought it smelled so good. No, not neither. It doesn't matter what the smell is. But what I'm saying is that, again, it just, to me, it goes back to your level of maturity. It goes back to how do you vet people. I don't think it's one thing or another, but I do think we have to be accountable for who we entertain, how long we entertain them, and is this moving in the direction that we want it to go.
Okay, I agree with that.
I don't think that you should be scared of marriage because a girl bought you a cologne that smelled like. She's not the girl. She's not the woman for you. Move on.
I agree with that.
You know, but when people scarred, they scarred, and they're not working through stuff. They get stuck on silliness like this, and they allow it to ruin their prospects.
Is it really silly?
Moving, it is silly.
Let's say you really, really digging this person, and you find those text messages.
But how do you get to a point where you're really digging this person, and there I guarantee you there were signs. This is very indicative of the work he has to do on himself.
Okay.
Because how did you miss this stuff? How is a woman deeply in love with another man and you have no clue? That's wild. That's just wild to me.
Things happen.
Yeah, and he got to be accountable for some of that.
She said you got to be accountable.
You do.
Oh, Lord Jesus. All right, let's move on to the next subject, man. On this next topic, it says looks matter. Woman says a man paying 100% of bills applies to extremely beautiful women, and the average woman can't get that behavior out of a man. I disagree, but we can talk about it. We'll listen to what she has to say and give our feedback. Let's listen to what she has to say and give our feedback.
Are giving advice to average women about entitlement. Now, in honesty, really beautiful young women can afford to be entitled. Life is easy for them. This is just an unfair fact of life.
But ultimately, that makes them unattractive.
You would think that, but there are still men willing to risk it all.
I'm sure there are guys who like that.
It still pays off. That entitlement is reserved for the 1% of women. It's reserved for the hyper beautiful, you really look after themselves. The problem is these women are the ones that we see online the most. Now they're saying this is what you get out of life, don't settle for anything less, make sure you don't do 50-50, blah blah. That only applies to the 1% of women. Majority of women are average. Majority of women don't get that kind of treatment from men. Majority of women can't elicit that out of men. So when you are taking advice, I'm so sorry to break this to you, looks matter. They really, really matter. So yes, if you're incredibly beautiful and you're stunning, yes, you can be entitled. Unfortunately, men will reward that. But when you're an average looking woman, an average lifestyle, and you're an average person, you have to have average standards. So I think the entitlement has to be reserved for the 1% of women, and the average woman, the entitlement won't work for you. Teamwork will work for you, and most people are average. Most women, most men are average. So teamwork works better.
All right, that was the video. I guess I'll go first. I think the issue here is due to social media and everyone having access to these celebrities and their celebrity lifestyle and we all have a false sense of, well, I'm not going to say we. A lot of women have a false sense of entitlement because their favorite artist or favorite whoever or favorite famous person or whatever is living a certain lifestyle and they feel like they deserve it too. That's not going to be the case for most people. Let's just be real. But I think that's where the disconnect is in the dating right? Because a lot of women feel that they need a 5-star restaurant, and you don't even qualify for that.
What qualifies a woman for a 5-star restaurant?
Let's not play this game.
No, tell me.
What qualifies? You can see it, right?
So would I qualify for a 5-star restaurant? Be honest.
Would you qualify for a 5-star restaurant? I believe you will. You should.
He's being.
You should be able to qualify.
What makes a woman qualify for a 5-star restaurant?
First of all, it's how you carry yourself.
Yes.
A lot of men will judge you just off how you carry yourself.
Correct.
Just how you move in general, how you're perceived to the world, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of men, not even men, everybody judges. We all judge, even men, women judge men, and they can look at a man and be like, okay, this man ain't on my level. A lot of women, even average women, feel like this regular man is not on my level because he makes a certain amount of money. You know what I mean? For men, it's different because we all look for different things in each other. But for men, 5-star, just be beauty. Let's be real. Automatic. Beauty is the number one standard we all judge women by as men.
Yeah.
So if you see a beautiful woman, and she's carrying herself a certain way, you're not going to approach her with BS, right? You want to make sure you secure that date. You ain't going to be taking her to Cheesecake Factory. I know how much that triggers a lot of y'all. So Cheesecake Factory is a trigger for a lot of people.
Anything's wrong with the trigger.
So,
Cheesecake Factory.
I've been in situations where a girl told me, "What? You want to take me to Grand Lux? Do I look like a Grand Lux type of chick?"
But see,
I wasn't thinking. Like my first thought is not to just go.
You gotta be accountable for what you're entertaining, right? And so I would say that I'm a bit of a different woman, and you know that obviously. I will agree with. We live in a superficial society, like more now than ever before. Very superficial. I 100% think beautiful women. They are entitled, right? People are out there getting their bodies done, getting their face changes. Everybody looks the same because they want to access that top 1%. They want a lifestyle. There are things that they want. So they are, right? And what do what do men give their attention to, right? And women are, it's so funny, I was having this conversation with older gentlemen, like maybe a week or two ago, and they were just like, we love women in their natural state. We love the way that they look. And I was, we were kind of going back and forth, while that may be what you love, what do you give a lot of your attention to, right? It's contradictory, because you'll have sex with that, you give a lot of attention to that, but you don't want to be with that long term. And it gets very confusing for women, because many of us were groomed to seek the attention of men. And what do men give their attention to? Well, we can just look. We can look around the world, right? If we're talking about this, like, we know what it is. So it's just like, I agree with her to a certain degree. And I also think that it comes with, I think when you are accessing, I'll never move away from this. When you work on yourself, your spirit, your soul, you work on healing yourself, you work on becoming valuable, right? In general, men and women, you work on becoming valuable. People want value. Mature people want value. People pay for value. Employers pay for value. You will be, as a woman, maybe you may not be a 10, but you are wildly valuable. You're mature, you're kind, you're sweet, you're nurturing. You add value to his business. You help him level up, right? Because a man is as good as the woman that's on his arm in society, right? Yes. So I think that there are multiple ways in which you, and I say that because I'm never going to say I'm lower than a 10, because I'm never going to self-deprecate. But I'm saying. Absolutely. Why would I say I'm anything less than a 10?
To that, we all 10s.
Absolutely. And now to everyone else, obviously, I may not. I have a very humble sense of self, But I would never rate myself anything lower because it's beyond my looks. It's my mindset. It's my spirit. It's my character. It's the way I treat others. It's the way I show up for people that I love. It's the mother I am, right? The daughter, the friend, the sister that I am. It's the way that I add value to anyone's life. Like, you will never engage with me and leave me the same. You just won't. So I say all that because when you add value, you will have men, and I say that from experience. Maybe people don't think I'm a 10, but I have had multiple experiences with men who are very well-to-do. They want me around, and you have to make decisions like that for yourself. But I think it's just more than looks, because I do not look like any of those girls. I don't have fake anything. But I say all that to say there is so much more, but it depends on what level you're vibrating on, your frequency.
Yeah, just like this young lady said, a lot of 1%. A lot of women, what is this? Looks matter, right? So
yeah, of course they do. But how much?
A lot of men are suckers to looks
and
beauty, and they will do whatever for these women. I think other women see that, and they're like, and these women have friends. Like, you see the pretty girl got slightly not as attractive friends, and they will also be like, oh, my friend said that she don't pay no bills, and I ain't paying no bills.
And I would say, how long does that last? Like, if you are a man who is looking for substance, right? Because if you're a man who's out there, right, you got to be accountable for what you entertain. So if that's what you're out there looking for, then be ready to, blow the bag. Yeah. Fine. But if you're a man who's looking for substance and a partner and companionship and real connection, how long does that pretty face, big booty, big boobs, small weight, whatever it is, all of the plastic, how long does that last before you get bored?
It gets boring after a couple months.
I mean, some of them can't even do math. Like, when I saw them asking what 8 times 6 is, and the woman could not say 40, could not say 46, right? It was like, wow.
Yeah, we're not talking about intelligence here. We're talking about 48. Beauty.
But no, right. But I'm just saying.
That's what men. Let's be real. A man is not looking for you for your intellect.
Look at me, not even being that. But no, I'm just saying, like, but right. But I mean, this is he was just trying to go and say, just like, you can't focus all on
beauty,
one thing. Yeah. It has to be a balance.
Yeah, Well, in this instance, we're talking about the average looking woman.
Yeah.
Wanting to. They want to be treated like the 1% of women.
But I don't even know that it's you wanting to be treated like the 1%. I think if we're talking about this economy and the time, like we can't negate that part, right? The economy, we're living in a much different economy than we were 10 years ago. So there may have been, the average Joe may have been able to pay like 75% of your bills, and he can't now. You need 2-income households.
Now men are saying, hey man, they need their woman to at least bring something to the table. This table conversation.
That's ridiculous.
It will never go away, because this is why you're seeing the stalemate in the dating.
Can we bring up that video when the woman was? Oh, she read him so good. He was like, I need women to bring things to the table. And she said, let me tell you about the table. And I thought she was so on point. She was saying, everyone sitting at this table has either came from me or came in me, right? I nurture, take care of. Yes, she's talking about children and a man, right? Mm-hmm. In the household. I nurture, care for, look after everyone in his family. And she broke it down so well. We got to find that video. She was saying, if I have to go out and answer to another man, I got to go out and work. She said, my expectation, she was like, a part of me has to die to bear your child, right? And any woman who has had a child, you know that your physical will never be pre-baby. So many things change that we don't even talk about. So many. Mm-hmm. So to carry on a man's legacy, right? To give him a child, so many parts of you, they do have to die. You sacrifice a lot. And And you're telling me that you can't care for me after it's no, so it's a difference between you not being able to, because financially you just what you're making isn't, or you're unwilling to.
Let me put it like this: a lot of men are willing to take care of their women, right? But what the issue is, what are they getting in return
right.
for that?
And this is where the vetting.
Are they getting a partner that's that can work with them? That is what's the word I'm looking for? That is are we getting a partner that's cooperative? Are you cooperative? Are we working towards a common goal, or am I here working for you?
Absolutely. I agree with that, right? And you have to be at a place where you can have, I can tell you that most men they're not having those conversations. They're not. They're not having those conversations with women.
This is the issue.
No, this is the issue with our men. Y'all don't talk. You don't talk about your needs, right? And this is
you think men don't talk about
men don't talk about what they need. Men suffer in silence a lot.
We ask these questions and women get offended. They say, "Hey, what do you bring to the table?" I am the table.
No, well, yeah.
What?
A woman. Well, when she's saying, right, I think there's a different way to have the conversation. And again, because of the prevalence of Black women and Black men on social media constantly combating each other, we don't know how to have this conversation maturely and in peace.
So if you're a man and you're trying to figure out what this woman is about, asking, "Hey, what do you bring to the table?"
I don't think that's trigger. That's a trigger.
Let me finish.
Yeah.
Why does that trigger you? And why can't I just ask you, "Hey, can you tell me something that makes me, what's the word I'm looking for? Can you tell me what benefits you're bringing into my life?" Basically, this is what that table conversation.
Right, I would ask you this, right? Let me pull out my coach hat. Right?
Coach.
No, I would ask you, what is the purpose of, like, how may you get that information without asking a question that you know is a controversial conversation between Black women and Black men?
Why should that
right?
be controversial?
Wait, it's not about why it is. It is.
Because,
right? We don't have to debate
this.
why it is. It is. What I would say is that how may I, as a woman, assess what type of man you are without saying what you gonna do for me?
Let me ask you this. That's why women ask,
No.
"Hey, what do you do for a living?"
No, that's okay. Yes, okay.
Why doesn't that trigger men?
But why can't you? Men have asked me what do I do for a living?
But that's
not triggering. That's not triggering to me. What I'm saying is that how do we, again, it's combative. We are constantly at each other's necks when we both need each other. So why can't I just say, "Hey, I want to know more about you. What are you interested in? What are some of your future goals? What are you looking to accomplish in the next 2 to 3 years? What's on your plate? What are you passionate about?"
But that doesn't answer my question.
No, absolutely. But guess what? I can tell you whatever I want to tell you. You have to experience me to know if I'm lying or not, right? If I'm telling the truth or if I'm lying. It's through the experience of someone you understand what they bring. Because I can say I bring bop, 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 bop. And then you spend time with me and you're like, well, she thinks she's a good mother, but she's not really that great of a mother. That's not how I want my children to be parented. Well, she says she's a great cook, but I don't really like the way she makes jollof rice. She says she's cleanly, but her house doesn't look that clean to me. So I think that some of this is a part of the experience.
So don't ask the question, just experience.
I think that's a question. I would never ask a man what he brings to the table. I would never ask that question to a man.
Because you guys have other ways to finding out that.
No,
answer,
so
right?
do you.
Because
let me ask you a question.
The number one thing that men have to bring is finances.
Let me ask you a question. What's the number one thing women have to bring?
Cooperation. If I can't cooperate with my woman, we're gonna be butting heads, right? You gotta find a woman that compliments you in what you do, right? So if you're not even doing that,
But
what are we doing?
And how does a woman, right? in order for a woman to be cooperative with you specifically, what has to happen between you two?
You have to experience her, right?
That's it.
Yeah,
and that's
but-
all I'm saying. So I think that we should stop asking that question. I think it's a bad question.
But
It's a- no.
In today's dating world, we are basically speed dating, and
Why
we're
who
trying
says-
to, because guess
Who
what?
says you have to do that? Who says you have to speed date anyone?
You know why
Who
it's like
says you?
that?
No, I don't subscribe to that. Who
I'm
you
about
get
to tell you
Go
why.
ahead.
Why it's like that. The reason it's like that is in today's dating culture,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of dating coaches tell women, "Hey, date them all." So while she's dating them all, I'll be dating her and trying to do like.
So men have been doing this for
What do you mean men have
listen,
been doing this?
What is wrong with a woman dating multiple men, right? Because I think a lot of times people think dating is synonymous with intimacy. And that is never. Most dating coaches will tell you to not even have any sort of intimacy until you're in a committed relationship, right? Within the 3, like by
As they
month
should.
2, 3, right? And I think that's wonderful advice. So what is wrong with a woman, right? Because here we go. We live in a patriarchal society. Because this is where it gets a little uncomfortable. What is wrong with a woman vetting people, right? And ensuring that, and I will say it because I've been guilty of this. I grew up very religious, and I only dated for marriage, and I spent a lot of time. I only date one person, and I'm dating one person, and it doesn't end up to work out. Now I've spent 2, 3, I've spent maybe months, years with this one person because I met this person, I focused on them, and I cut everybody else off. And this person, this doesn't even lead to marriage. And now I've wasted years out of my life. Meanwhile, men have been doing this since the beginning of time. Men date multiple women, and nobody says anything about it. What is wrong with a woman saying, hey, I have a vision for my life, and I'm looking for someone who is well aligned with that vision. And there's nothing, until a man puts a ring on my finger or
Let me
we're in a
ask you
committed
this.
relationship, you should have, what is wrong with that? We do that with, we will vet jobs, we will vet opportunities. Why would we not vet the most important decision in our life, which is our life partner?
All right, so if women are doing all this vetting,
They're not, though. That's the problem. They're not vetting.
so what are they doing? They're not vetting.
I think most of us don't know how to date because we weren't taught to. I was guilty. I'm learning, right? And it's just like, it's hard to unlearn bad habits, right? It takes time. And I think a lot of us, again, we're so influenced by what's online, and you're doing what's it's not easy to stand out amongst the crowd. It's not easy to do what everyone else is not doing. And I think everybody wants to live a good life. And what's the way that you get there? Some people want it the fast way. And that's sleeping with a man. This person may see this, so I don't want to say it. But anyway, so that's sleeping with a man to get there fast, or that's doing other things to get you the lifestyle you want. It's just like, how do you want it, and what do you really want?
Okay, I like it. You put a lot of layers back right there, man. But I agree with that.
I just think this conversation, this is a conversation that Black men and Black women need to have, and we don't need to be combative. Like, we need each other.
Dude,
and we we're deeply connected. We need each other. And there's a better way. It's just, we got to be willing to do the work.
Okay. All right.
He don't want to hear it.
We
He
ain't
don't want
trying
to
to
do
do
the
that
work.
shit.
That's a
No,
part of the
but
problem.
I hear you though. But yeah, like expectations in dating is hard.
And it's
on
not
both
even
sides.
that. And I also think, last thing, I think it's looking at yourself in the mirror and being accountable for how your life is going, what you are entertaining and attracting. And it's like, what do I need to do? If this is the outcome I want, then I keep hitting into a brick wall, right? What do I need to do? Who else do I need to be? what do I need to unlearn? What do I need to start doing? What do I need to stop doing? Like, most people don't want to do that work because it's hard and it's painful.
Definitely. I like it. All right. Let's move on to our next topic here. Are you familiar with LeBron James' son? I know this is I'm a little late on this topic. I'm about a week late. LeBron James' son was drafted into the NBA last year, and his dad pulled some strings.
Did he?
Yeah, he pulled a lot of strings because his son was a freshman at USC, averaged 4 points, like 2 rebounds or something like that. 2 assists. His stats wasn't very impressive. He had players on his team, 2 other players on his team who, one of them was drafted in the first round. The second one wasn't drafted. The second one averaged about 16 points or something like that, and he wasn't drafted. But, he's LeBron James' son. And he's getting drafted here by the Lakers because LeBron wanted to he's trying to get him and his son to be the first duo, father and son duo in the NBA. So he's making history. But let's take a look at how that played out. Let's watch a little bit clip of him getting drafted, and we will give our feedback and what we think about.
The Los Angeles Lakers select Bronny James from the University of Southern California.
The anticipation has been building for weeks as to where we would hear Bronny's name called. This is a young man who had an unprecedented spotlight on him in his freshman year at USC, where he played 25 games. He missed the first 8 games of the season after he went into cardiac arrest on July 24th, 2023. He underwent a procedure to treat a congenital heart defect. To see him less than a year later be drafted is a feat I don't think we can lose sight of. He's, of course, the eldest son of one of the greatest players to ever play the game, LeBron James. And now we see the first ever father-son duo in the NBA, Stephen A.
I'm incredibly happy for Bronny James. I remember when, the basketball world stopped because the cardiac arrest situation last summer. I remember being around so many people in this building, scared to death that something awful had happened, and wondering. You see LeBron James entering the hospital. You heard so many different things. You're scared to death of what had happened to him and what was going to come of it. And to see him here just a year later, being drafted by the Los Angeles Lakers, health intact and what have you, you can't be happier for him.
And when people want to judge his freshman season at USC and the lack of production that you might normally see, you have to take into consideration what those previous 5 months were. Not just the physical comeback from an episode
this isn't like a sprained MCL.
But the mental comeback and that process for a young person to come back from a situation like that and to be playing basketball again and then to start to try to play it at a high level. There's so much more room for growth for him.
And can you imagine, as a parent, getting that initial phone call with the...
All right, well, that basically sums up so what do you think about him getting drafted, and do you think it's fair to someone who could have been drafted in his position or in that 55th spot for the Lakers? A lot of Laker fans are pissed.
I don't care.
Because their roster didn't get better. But LeBron gets to play with his son.
I think that whenever we see black folks winning, white people do this all the time. Okay. So when it's ours, call it nepotism, call it whatever you want. I say, yes, more of this.
But as a Laker fan, do you think that's fair to the...
Yep. It's fair to everybody. This stuff happens everywhere all the time.
I agree, but the objective is winning a championship.
Listen, they're going to win the championship. He's going to have the best of everything.
They didn't even make the playoffs.
Okay.
Well, they did make the playoffs.
Okay, this was before Bronny?
Huh?
This was before Bronny you're talking about, right?
What do you mean?
They didn't. You said they didn't make the playoffs.
Yeah, this was before Bronny.
Yeah, okay. So don't
they didn't make the playoffs.
He's not carrying an entire team.
They got put out in the first round.
Listen, we're not going to speak negative of Bronny James, and good. We love it. I love it. I think we should see more of it. Keep going.
I don't have a problem with it, but we all talk this good game about earnings things.
That's the black way, man. We so used to getting it out the mud when nobody. Why? We have to unlearn that. No.
But every other kid got to earn it.
No, they don't. You don't know. No, they don't.
All these kids that are coming in the NBA that didn't have NBA
think
daddies.
About, first of all, let's talk about. All right, we're gonna bring it back down to race because it's always about race. Let's talk about the starting line. We don't even start in the same place. We're at the we're below the no. So why is this wrong?
I'm not saying it's wrong because he didn't earn it.
He earned it.
You think he's gonna get respect in the locker room?
Who cares?
He cares.
He don't care. Whatever.
I'm pretty sure
he on the Lakers. He gonna get respect, and he's gonna get better.
Like this,
and he's gonna no.
Everybody's gonna be going at his head because they know he ain't supposed to be here. That's just what it is.
Guess what? You know how many other white players ain't supposed to be there, but they there.
I'm not saying it doesn't happen. It happens, but
why do we hammer so hard? We hold our own so accountable when we never hold white folks accountable. We never hold white people accountable to the same measure.
I'm glad it wasn't my team.
I'm happy for him. Kudos to LeBron James and Bronny James. I'll be watching the Lakers this season coming up.
Shout out to Bronny and the Lakers.
Well, you know I'm rooting for everybody black. I'm rooting for everybody black. So I'm never
for everybody black.
Everybody, all the time.
Angel Reese or Caitlin Clark?
Who? Angel Reese or Angel Reese, baby girl. I know you made a mistake. You didn't mean to hit that girl. That was just a block. We already went through that.
Oh my God.
Playing a game of basketball.
That's funny.
That's it.
Oh my God. And our last topic here, we're gonna go in on a little balloon challenge. You know, we gotta finish off with a little balloon challenge. These balloon challenges have been definitely interesting. A man asks, okay, it says social media, okay, she says she's a social media agent. A man, how do I even introduce this? He basically, in this balloon pop scene, a lot of women are triggered because a man criticized the women based on how many kids they had, and he went in. So we're gonna go in and listen to this, what he got to say, and see what he did right and see what he did wrong. Let's go in and let's play the video here.
Okay, social media?
Social media agent, yes.
Okay, how many kids you have?
I have 2.
How many baby daddies?
2.
2?
Look at this.
Okay. So you didn't think after the first one that you wanted to marry the next one?
Judgment.
No.
No? Okay. Okay. I was just asking because for real men, that's what matters.
Mm-hmm.
Your first one is given. Your second one, the mistake is on you.
Oh, is it? Well, there's
That's definitely
circumstances
right.
under why I got
That's
pregnant.
definitely
but
right.
That's nor here or there, and that's
Yeah,
not
but
what I'm here for.
Okay, definitely. You're a beautiful woman, though.
Thank you.
But I respect your answer. Okay, social media?
Social media agent.
So as you can see there, it's a quick little clip. A lot of women, 2 other women were triggered by that question, and you think he went a little bit too hard with his question?
I think that there was so much judgment layered in his. First of all, it was interrogative, which is unattractive. There was so much judgment in his tone, in the way that he was speaking to her. There are so many circumstances in our lives that there are many circumstances that may lead a man or a woman to have children or leave a relationship. Let's just say leave a relationship.
Let me ask you a question.
Right?
So what best way, if you were in his shoes, how would you, as a woman, how would you ask that question? Because I understand you. I don't like.
First of
obviously
all,
his tone.
I would just you can just ask. It's just like obviously that's a trigger for him, for whatever the reason is, and I just think. I mean, I think it speaks a lot to you. We all have our preferences, but the way that you engage with a woman speaks I think he is.
I agree.
I think he is not a quality man at all whatsoever.
For asking that question?
No. It's the way that he is speaking to her that is so ungentlemanlike. That is a complete turnoff to me. You could say, what is your family situation? What is that comprised of?
She gonna say I got two kids by two different
Okay,
men.
you can say, do you have two children? You should say, are they by the same father? No. That's all he needed to know. If they weren't, this was not for you to sit here and teach her a lesson. You didn't think you need to marry the sex. Who the heck are you? You don't know this woman. You don't know her life. You don't know her circumstances. What if she got raped? What if she, let's just say, no, what, you know how many women are victimized?
What percent? Well, I mean, that's not the case, though. That's
You
not
don't
the
know,
case.
but you don't,
You can't-
honestly, the truth of the matter is you don't know what the case is because she stated, I'm passionate about this, because who are you to come on a show and make a judgment about a woman and talk about her life as though, black women, she looks like she's a person of color. I can't really see what race she is, but we so disrespected and so mistreated. It's like a gentleman would never treat a lady like that. He would never talk to a lady like that.
I think, was it his
Never.
tone? Was it his tone?
It's his tone, his directness. You don't know her.
His
What
delivery.
makes you say, you didn't think to marry the second one? So I should, what if this dude was, you don't know anything about this dude, right? What if I fell in love with someone and I found out that, what if he was a child molester? What if he was a pedophile? What if what if he started beating me?
I don't think they would invite a child molester.
No, but what I'm saying is that people can hide who they are. I dated a man, I didn't know he was married. I didn't know. I had no idea, right? What I'm saying is that people can hide who they are, and it takes time, and maybe he hid who he was for a very long time, right? People hide children. People hide secondary lifestyles. Was in a relationship with someone who was a sex addict. I did not know, and it took a lot of time for me to find that out through behaviors. So
when you're bringing kids into a relationship, I think that is, I'm not saying, when I say kids, I've dated women with one kid, but multiple now. Like, once you get into what if her
first child was very young?
And but that doesn't matter to men, though.
But this is what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. You all are so judged. That's very judgmental. Women take into consideration, not even women. I think it is important. You can have your standards, and if two children by two different, so if they were by the same man, it would be different.
It would be different.
What's different?
Because it just shows that, your behavior is going to basically dictate how you act in the future. Your past dictates the future. Whether we like to, if you're a 2-time felon, most likely you're going to keep repeating that cycle, because that's unless you break it, right? Unless you break it. So it's gonna take time it's gonna take a lot of vetting, and for a man to date you to say, okay, this woman has learned from her past and she's a changed woman. But right now they're just on a dating show and he just met her, and the way he approached the situation, I don't agree
horrific.
with. He did go a little too hard.
Yeah.
I'll say that he did go a little too hard. I wouldn't have went in depth like that. Didn't you think? Okay, that was a little bit harsh. But
who are you, bruh? I don't think, now don't get me wrong, I don't think there's anything wrong with your standards, right? You don't want to date a woman who has 2 children by 2 different fathers. That's fine. But for you to try to make her feel less than, right? You are a man. You are a protector of women. Women look to men for safety. And you decide to use this opportunity. Maybe she does feel shameful about her decisions, but you decide to use this opportunity to step on her even more. That's pathetic. That is so low. That is so classless. And it says a lot about who that man is. I'm glad she didn't get with him, because he seems like a trashy person.
Ooh, you seem to like this topic a little bit.
No, because it's like, how do we treat each other, man? This is not kind. This is so unkind, and it's so judgmental. And it's like, you can say a lot about people's lives, but you ain't walked in their shoes. We can all say, I never will, and you don't know until you live somebody's life. So I just think this was just poor taste. Get him off the show.
Okay. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. Oh man. That's it for our topics today. I want to thank my guest, Kristen.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
She can sing. You want to sing something for us before we go out?
Love has truly been good to me. Not even one sad day or minute have I had since you come my way. I hope you know I'll gladly go anywhere you take me. So amazing to be loved. Follow you to the moon and the sky above.
Oh, beautiful.
I'll listen to that today.
That was beautiful. Make sure you like, share, subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment. Let us know what you think. Let us know what we did wrong, why we can improve. And
we don't do wrong.
I would like to thank my guest one more time for that beautiful voice. And we will see you soon.
See you next one.
We are out.